Yo, 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 what is up, party people? Welcome to another episode of Thrive and Dive, thriving in life as we dive into deeper conversations. And I'm joined here today by the one and only Niyah Rodriguez, or technically, Janiyah Rodriguez. Does anybody actually call you Janiyah on a regular basis?
No.
No?
Nope.
Just Niyah. Okay,
Yes.
Sweet. So for a little bit of context for you who are watching Thrive and Dive, Niyah was a former student of mine at the wonderful Masters Academy of Vero Beach, and she is now a senior at Masters Academy of Vero Beach.
Heck yeah.
And I've been teaching her, I think you came halfway through your freshman year
Yeah.
to Masters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to teach her for 2.5 years. I will say one of my star students, no offense to those who were not so starly. Hopefully, we all have our giftings. That's fine. And yeah, so Niyah has been one of my students in her senior year. And Niyah, anything you want to share about how the start of your senior year is going? Anything cool or out of the ordinary that's happened? It's only been like 3 weeks since we've started
Yeah.
school, but anything?
No, I mean, it's just mainly been school. I mean, thesis.
Thesis, yes. So something that the great Masters Academy of Vero Beach does is torture our seniors with something called a thesis paper. And it's actually a wonderful thing. I had to do it back when I was a senior at Masters Academy. And Niyah, actually, you tell us what exactly is a thesis paper, thesis, whatever.
Yeah, so it's like this research paper that we do where we have to pick a topic that's socially controversial and
Ooh.
biblically defendable.
Controversy.
Yeah, so we spend the first quarter researching, and then the second quarter we spend writing the majority of the paper, well, the entire paper.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then the third quarter we are working on our presentation, so we have to like present our topic and defend it in front of a panel.
Yeah, pretty intense. And roughly how long is the paper going to be? I don't know if you've mentioned that.
I think it's around 25 pages. So
25 big ones, folks. And yeah, then when you didn't think 25 pages of paper writing was hard enough, you do got to present it, like Niyah said, in front of a panel, and they drill you with questions afterwards, and you got to defend the reasoning you used on the topic that you picked. Not that we're going to dive into your topic on this episode of Thrive and Dive, Niyah, but what is your topic, if you don't mind me asking?
So pretty much summarized, my topic is physical discipline
Okay.
of children is not equivalent to abuse.
Physical discipline is not equivalent to abuse. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like an interesting topic. We might need to have you on Thrive and Dive again once you're done with your thesis paper and you've done your presentation, you've done your defense, and after you got 100 on it, and yeah, then we'll
Bold
have you back
claim.
if you're interested. I'm just speaking it into existence. I'm not trying to manifest. We don't believe in manifesting here on Thrive and Dive. We believe in the Word of God, but still think positively about your outcome. There's nothing wrong with that. Anywho, Niyah, so senior year. Nothing super crazy is happening other than her thesis. Hopefully you get some more crazy stories of your senior year for you to remember for the rest of your life. But until then, I brought Niyah on Thrive and Dive because I want her to share about her summer. Okay, so the time we're filming this is 3 weeks into school. Summer was not too long ago. It's September. The day we're filming this is September 1st. And Niyah, for context, had a pretty cool summer. I mean, I don't want to speak for her. I assume it was cool. But she went to a Word of Life camp in upstate New York. Word of Life is an awesome ministry. That's a global ministry all over the place. And she worked at one of their camps. And specifically, the camp is called The Island. Why? Because it's on an island. Legit. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's pretty cool, actually. You're on an island. The camp, you got to take a boat to get to camp. And you can't run away because unless you're a good swimmer, because like a mile to the shoreline. And she spent the whole summer there at this Word of Life camp. And not only that, she actually spent last summer at that Word of Life Island camp as well. And I actually happened to be with her on that. Her and a couple other students, we all went together to the Word of Life Island camp all summer last year. And she decided to go back again, just by herself though. I didn't go, the other students didn't go. So that's pretty cool that she wanted to do that again 2 summers in a row. So that's pretty sweet. So what I want to hear from Niyah is this summer experience that she has done, I personally did when I was in high school as well. And I know that I had some amazing experiences and some not so amazing experiences, but good experiences that helped me grow in my relationship with the Lord. And I want to hear from Niyah what are some things about this summer experience that stood out to you that'd be cool for us to share with our thriving divers? So we'll start with, I guess, what was your favorite part of the summer, and then we'll transition to what was maybe the hardest part of the summer. Even before then, before I answer what your favorite part of the summer is, go ahead and tell us what you did as your job and what a typical day looked like at the camp.
Yeah, so I worked on the food line. So during the meals, I would be like refilling the like buffet lines because students got food for themselves because they were high schoolers.
Yep.
Um, so I'd be like refilling the lines, and I would clean them up after the meals, and I would clean like the dining hall or whatever. So every other week, like I would work a breakfast lunch shift one week, and then lunch dinner shift the next week. So for like a breakfast lunch shift, we would wake up at 5:30.
Woo!
Get to the kitchen at 6.
Before the rooster crows.
Yep. It'd be nice and dark outside. We'd get to the kitchen at 6, and the shift would last till around 9:30 or 10.
Okay,
And then
nice.
our lunch shift would start at 11 and go till
Oh, wow.
around 2:30 or 3.
Okay, nice.
A dinner shift would start at 4 and last till around 8:30.
Oh,
So
that seems like the longest shift. The
Y-
dinner shift? Or?
well, they're all like around the same length, but
Okay, I don't know math very well. Okay, but cool.
dinner feels the longest.
So what was your favorite, doing the breakfast, lunch, or the lunch and dinner?
Breakfast lunch surprisingly was actually my favorite.
Oh,
Because
are you a
even though
morning person?
No.
Oh, no, you're not a
I'm
morning
not-
person.
I'm not a morning person, but once you were done with lunch at like 2:30, you had the entire day.
Oh, true. So you didn't have to worry about anything in the evening, and you could
Yes.
hang out and
Right.
what'd you do? What was things you did during your free time? Let's say you had a breakfast lunch shift. What would you do in the evenings?
Free time, sometimes I would take a nap.
Ooh, nothing better than a camp nap.
Yeah,
Yes. Yep.
Those hit. And then if I wasn't napping, I was like, we had the camp crew lounge. So
Okay.
I would just chill in there. They had a piano in there, and I
Ooh.
played piano, of course.
Nice.
Played
Did
piano.
they have piano in there last year?
It was in the boathouse last year.
Oh, so they moved to the lounge.
Mhm.
So you're jamming.
Yes.
Okay.
They had a switch in there this year. So
Whoa, oh my god! Whoa, word of life. Can we talk about this? We didn't have no switch and piano back in the lounge back when I was there. Whoa, what is this all about,
yeah,
man?
we were playing Smash. all the
Smash
time.
Bros? No way. Did you play Mario Kart too?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! Shut the front door. Word of life. You have stepped up your game with Camp Crew. Shout out to Word of Life. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So a lot of my free time, I would just be hanging out with my friends. Like we wouldn't be doing a lot. We'd be like walking around the island or like going to South Point.
Sweet.
You know.
South Point, for those of you who've never been on the Word of Life Island. First of all, you should definitely try to go to Word of Life Island. If you're a high schooler and you're listening, definitely be a camper at the Word of Life Island. Or do Camp Crew like Niyah is doing, or did, over the summer. And if you're a college student, still go to the Word of Life Island. Maybe you can be a volunteer or something. But anyway, South Point is one of the coolest places on the Word of Life Island, right? It's like
Yes.
it's beautiful on a peninsula type thing, right?
Yeah,
It's like a
kinda.
rock. They used to have a lighthouse out there.
It's
Oh,
still there.
oh,
Well, they
still
put
there?
it back up.
Oh, they put it back up. They put that, of course. They didn't have it last summer, but they put this. Okay, I'm just playing. But okay, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what a typical day looked like: working in the food line, either breakfast or lunch, or lunch and dinner, free time, hanging out, chilling and grilling, things like that. Cool. So what would you say? And you might have already answered this question, Niyah. What would you say was your favorite parts of the summer, or maybe favorite part? If you have like one story of a day or a day off, where you're like, man, that was a day to remember for the books.
Yeah. So I think it was probably a Saturday. So Saturdays are our days off,
Yep.
and we get to leave the island. And I had like worked really hard all week because I had worked lunch dinner, and that's like the hardest shifts
Mm.
ever.
Yeah.
And then it was finally Saturday, and I got to wake up at like 10 or like 9.
Yeah.
I left on the 10 o'clock boat,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like hung out with my friends at the Bible Institute, and we like went to Target.
Nice.
We got lunch at 9 Mile.
9 Mile. I'm not gonna lie, their coffee isn't my favorite. I don't know how you like the coffee, but the ambiance was supreme. I remember I'd spend many of my summer days off last summer there just editing videos. It was so chill.
They had
Okay.
the best BLTs.
The best BLT.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But what do you think of their coffee?
Their coffee's mid.
Mid. Okay. It's all right. I mean, it's not like the end of the world, but for a coffee joint, you think it'd be a little better. But yeah. Okay. So great days off. Going to Target. Going to hanging out at the Bible
Oh, yeah.
Institute, and 9 Mile. Cool.
Yeah. And the last boat that we were able to get on was at 8:45.
Okay.
So literally we would just be out from 10 a.m. to 8:45.
Nice. Wouldn't come back.
Nope.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. Very nice, Niyah. Awesome. Well, those are some of the favorite parts. Camp life, there's nothing quite like camp life. And I'm glad you were able to experience that for another summer, Niyah. That's awesome. Now, switching gears a little bit, for those of you thriving divers, usually we have like a topic that we unpack. But for today, I just wanted to hear about Niyah's testimony at the Word of Life camp this summer. And if a topic comes out from our conversation, great. Otherwise, we're just kind of hearing this real life testimony. So, not kind of, we are our real life testimony. So, Niyah, tell us, was there any difficult parts of the summer, hard parts, trials per se, and how'd you overcome that?
Yeah, so I think the first like week or so is usually like really hard, just
Yeah.
mainly because I didn't really know anybody. Like I knew a few people, but I didn't really know that many people. I was
Hmm.
trying to get into this schedule of waking up at 5,
Yeah.
you know,
Oof. Yeah.
going
No.
like working like literal physical like hard work
Yeah. Yep.
for 8 hours a day. Not limited breaks, So like getting into the work schedule was pretty hard.
Yeah.
Um, but I acclimated or whatever. After that, I think it was a struggle trying to like find a balance between resting
Mm.
just for myself and resting spiritually, resting in God. So it was
Okay.
like I could just be sleeping and I could just be like laying around like I don't know, like walking around with my friends, and that was like resting because I
Hmm.
wasn't working. But
Yep. Yep.
there's a difference between like doing that and like resting in God, doing my quiet time, just like being still and just listening for God's voice. So that was a struggle because you always want to be with your friends or whatever,
Mm.
but when you have that free time, you could be furthering your relationship with God and deepening that. So yeah, um, that
No.
was
Solid.
yeah.
No, I like that last part you talked about in terms of the struggle of balancing, kind of like rest in the Lord and then kind of more like social rest. And they're not necessarily exclusive of one another. I think you can grow in the Lord and rest in Him through hanging out with your friends, through a good hearty nap. I remember actually at the Word of Life Bible Institute when I was a student there, I remember one of our teachers saying, sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is take a nap. I remember it was a story of Elijah. If you don't know the story of Elijah, go read in First Kings. But long story short, he has an amazing victory over King Ahab and Jezebel. And I think I've actually shared this story on Dive and Dive before. Anyway, but he has this victory, but then he gets depressed because Jezebel wants to kill him, the wife, the queen. And he's like, God, I just want to die. He gets really depressed, things like that. And basically, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but God just says, Elijah, shut up, get some food, take a nap, pretty much. And he's like, okay. There was no divine, I don't know, manifestation or anything. It was just like, go get some sleep. So that was interesting. But yeah, we do need to kind of have that balance of like, all right, we need to rest, to have some leisure time, but also dig into our relationship with the Lord, because sometimes digging into a relationship with the Lord isn't very like restful per se. Like it takes hard work and concentration to read the Word of God sometimes, or a lot of times for me at least. And I gotta like, all right, let's get into the mindset. We're gonna dive into the Word, dive into some commentaries, dive into a study. But that is just as important as more casual rest. So that's good. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Any other thoughts on that?
Um, I think another hard thing, like I've struggled with this actually for like probably 5 or like almost 6 years now, but I've struggled with self-harm.
Hmm.
Because I've just gone through a lot and it kind of became my coping mechanism, and I got
Yeah.
clean for a while, and then I got in this really high stress environment at camp last summer, and I like relapsed, and so that was like a struggle, like
Hmm.
finding God there. And it happened again this summer, and it was like hard because I was thinking, oh, it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be with people, but
Yeah.
like it did happen, and so I had to address it,
Hmm.
and like just kind of. Mm, trying to think of the best way to word this.
Yeah. No. Take your time. No worries.
Like realizing that I don't need to do that to feel comfort.
Hmm.
Like I kind of like made this what became an addiction. I made that
Yeah.
like an idol, I guess, in my life. Like
Hmm.
I would put so much effort into being like, oh, well, I need to do this, and I'd be thinking about it all the time, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, when's the next time I can do this? What am I going to use? Like, all these thoughts going into that. And I kind of realized, like, even just over this summer, like, instead of going to that for comfort and for, like, stability,
Yeah.
or, finding that one thing that I can be in control of, it was going to God in those moments where I felt desperate and I needed something. It was like, I could pray and I could ask God, like, meet me here in this moment because I need you. I'm broken and I can't help myself, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm just going to hurt myself more.
Yeah.
I'm destroying myself by trying to help myself. So I grew in that actually this summer a lot.
Awesome.
And I had a lot of strong, biblical advice around me, helping me with that. So.
Good. Well, thanks for being open about that. Sharing that testimony of the struggle that you have with self-harm and things like that. That's not easy to share, and definitely not easy to go through. So I think you already answered this question, Niyah, but I just want to reiterate it. So what would you say from this summer when you were struggling with that season of self-harm? What was the defining moment in overcoming that? Was finding your dependence in the Lord? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Or was there, yeah, if you want to unpack, what was that defining moment? Was that it?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And even with these things, I don't want to speak for you because this isn't something I've personally walked through, but I've had my own share of idolatry that manifested in different forms. We have some of the times these defining moments that help us turn around and move past the issue, but then it's easy to kind of want to relapse into it without surrounding ourselves with those good godly counsel or surrounding ourselves with discipline. It's kind of like the cliche testimony story you watch in some of these movies sometimes. Like, they have a awesome encounter with the Lord that, like, rocks their socks off, and they're like, I'm free from my addiction. And then a hard moment comes in the movie, like someone passes away or they lose their job, and they relapse back into that thing that they had that defining moment victory over, right? So what is it for you? And I think you already said that helps you not relapse into that.
Yeah.
So because I'm sure you had stressful situations again on the island. It's not like, oh, no more stress, no more temptation to do that. So how'd you do that?
It was kind of just remembering what God has done for me. Like, because this wasn't the first time that I had, like, realized, like, oh, I need God. Like, obviously it wasn't the first time.
Right.
Just thinking of how he's delivered me in the past and how every time I call out to him and I'm asking him for help, he always delivers. Every single time. God is faithful every time I need him, and he's there when I'm not looking for him. So.
Good. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Niyah. That's good. So kind of I already answered my next question, but if you want to add in more to it, what are some things the Lord taught you specifically this summer? Maybe it was a reminder from last summer, but something new and fresh for this new school year, I guess. Like, was there anything the Lord showed you in that regard?
I'm not in control. Like,
okay. Yeah.
It was kind of like you said, like a reiteration of last summer, and kind of just a common theme throughout my life. But I have no control. I'm not in control of my life. I never was, and I never will be, and it's better that way. So just having peace that God being in control is always a better thing than me trying to be in control.
That's good. Yeah, if we can learn that sooner than later, Niyah, we'll save ourselves a lot of issues. Because there's a lot of times we want to be in control, and it reminds me of a scripture, one of many. It's actually from a song. I don't know. Do you listen to Indie Tribe at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, Indie Tribe. So they came out with a new album called Low Blow. Shout out to Indie Tribe, and one of the songs is called Plan. Have you listened to that song?
No, I don't
It's
think so.
it's pretty new, but basically it goes off the premise of I think it's in Proverbs, where it says man can make their plans, but God directs their steps. And stuff like, we can make our plans, this or that, but the Lord just comes in and changes everything we thought we were going to do, type of thing. Not that the Lord is reckless, and so it's like, oh, let me blow up your plans. No, but it's a reminder that you think you have a hold and control of what your life's going to be like, but really, like you're saying, you don't have control. I have control. So depend on me instead of chasing after wind and trying to grasp onto the reins of control that don't even exist, right? And I'm not saying, and I don't think you're saying either, Niyah, that we just go through life willy-nilly And it's like, oh, I got no control, so might as well not try to plan. Might as well not try to have disciplines or rhythms or get my life together. God's got the control, right? That's not what you're saying. It's saying, no, I'm dependent on the Lord. I can make my plans, but God does direct my steps. I could try to get a hold of something, but at the end of the day, it's the Holy Spirit that gives me the supernatural ability to overcome the things I'm trying to control.
Yeah.
So I think that's what what we're saying. So that's good, Niyah. Niyah, another question, kind of off topic. We're gonna wrap it up here soon. You played on the worship team this summer on the camp.
I did.
You didn't do it last summer for multiple reasons, but how did that? Because you've been leading worship for years now. For context, Niyah plays on our worship team at our school every Friday at chapel. She plays on our worship team at our church. And so how was it playing on a worship team at camp?
It was awesome. I'm so grateful that I got to have that experience this summer. It definitely helped get me back, because worship is like, everybody has kind of a different place that they can meet God and kind of feel closest to God. Not that you're not close to God when you're doing those things.
Right. Yeah.
Worship for me is where I feel closest to God. I feel really connected to God. And so I was super grateful that I got to have that, kind of be in my element.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm made to worship. So it was really cool working with Ryan Arnold.
Cool.
Music director, Word of
yes.
Life. So
shout out to Ryan. He's a legend.
He's a G.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
And it was cool, everybody on the band was just at such a different walk in life. So getting to work with them really closely and just like work on music together was really awesome.
That's good. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that was a good experience, and we get to reap the benefits of your love and desire for worship, because I know for me, and I'm sure I'm speaking for others as well, when you lead worship, not only are you naturally gifted in that, the Lord has given you natural abilities, but he's also grown you so much in that to where you get to be a blessing to other people. So not only is it a blessing to you to be in your element, but it's a blessing to everyone else to see you in your element. So keep doing that. Keep rocking on whatever environment you have to do that. So that's cool. Awesome, Niyah. Well, any final thoughts concerning your summer at the Word of Life Island? If not?
I don't think so.
Don't think so. Good. What would you say to someone who's contemplating going to the Word of Life Island for the summer experience?
Go to the Word of Life Island.
Go to the Word of Life.
It's not a choice.
Not a choice. You're gonna want to go. Are you gonna go next summer, you think?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still summer away. Awesome.
Yeah.
What about the Bible Institute? Are you thinking about that? Yeah. Is that like your number one option right now?
Yeah.
Yo.
And I think I'm gonna go for 2 years.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! How about that? Wow, I guess Wow, that's awesome. Well, that's news to me. I did not know Niyah had that plan, and I am a firm supporter of anyone who wants to go to the Word of Life Bible Institute. I only did their first year. I didn't do 2 years, but that year, hands down. I mean, I'm not trying to exaggerate. Probably the best year of my life. So I'm pumped for you, Niyah.
I might even do Davis too.
Davis College. Okay, so they have a college that They didn't have that option when I was at Word of Life, but it's a college that partners with Word of Life, so she can finish her degree. Yeah, that's what's up. Awesome, Niyah. Well, thanks for sharing that. I'm definitely gonna have to talk to you more about that. I'm excited. Cool, Niyah. Well, guys, that's all we have for Thrive and Dive today. Hope you enjoyed hearing the testimony of Niyah, sharing her real life experience. Hopefully you got something from it. And again, if you have a chance to go work at a camp, specifically the Word of Life, but any camp experience is a great experience. I challenge you to do that. It's worth your time. Well, this is Thrive and Dive, thriving in life as we dive into deeper conversations. Peace out.